What's up, guys? What I got for you today is a green-purple Luffy list for EBO2. Now, guys, a little bit of clickbait. I actually don't think this deck is going to be tier 0. In fact, there's a lot of issues with this deck that we'll talk about in another video. But this deck list is ever changing. The meta is literally the deck has not even been released yet. So please, if you see me testing different cards in separate videos, or I'm sorry, separate games, don't get mad at me, guys. I'm just testing stuff out. I'm trying to get you guys the best content possible. So with that being said, let's get to the deck profile.
Heart Pirates TCG.
All right, guys, so this deck list will be in the description below. Also, shout out to moonlighttcg.com for self-sponsoring this video. Guys, if you guys want some quality products, feel free to check out moonlighttcg.com. Also, all masterclasses are going to be posted as articles on there. We also have some great players posting some articles soon on Green Purple Luffy, on Lucci. There's a lot of really cool things in the works, so check it out, guys. Like I told you guys before, our goal is to be the best quality website for One Piece that exists on the internet, and we need your help to do so. So pick up one of our products today. Thank you guys so much. Oh, real quick, guys, editor's note, we just got some discounts for a Fairfield in Marriott for those traveling to the Oviedo Regional. So be sure to message us on Discord or via email in the Contact Us section up here. But we're very excited to get you guys some very awesome discounts. Anytime you travel to a regional, we're going to have some discounts for food and lodging and all that good stuff. So be sure to check that out. We have limited space, though, so thanks. All right, so we got 4 of the Nami. So these are new cards, guys. So, I'm going to go over them if you guys, just briefly. So we got 4 of the Nami. It's just a Straw Hat Searcher. It can search literally any Straw Hat, no matter the color, which is fantastic. We have 2 of these Zoros right here. Basically what it says is if your opponent has 2 or more characters, this character can basically gain like pseudo rush. It can attack characters the turn that it's played. Also on play, it rests a 4 cost or less, so it's really good for going for game. Obviously, the best card in the deck, Sanji Pudding. When 2 or more Dawn is returned to your Dawn deck, when you Dawn minus basically 2 or more, set up to one of them as active, right? Also, if you have equal or less Dawn than your opponent, you draw a card, which is fantastic, right? Playing 2 of the Robin. It's a blocker, it's a 1k counter. Also, Dawn minus 1 on KO. You search for a Straw Hat card, and then place the rest of the bottom of your deck. It can even search for cards like Gatling. It can search for Giant. It's really, 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 really strong. I want to find a way to bump this up to 4, but I can't really find that. I can't really find space for it. One of the best cards in the deck, Luffy. Basically, it says your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more cards. Then what you're going to do is you're going to gain rush, and then also you can return 2 of your active Dawn. I know that shit sucks as active though. That's like really annoying. But you return 2 of your active Dawn and you restand them when you're attacking. Honestly, people I think are playing this deck a little bit more aggro than they need to. I don't necessarily think it's like the most aggro deck possible, so I try not to do this unless I'm really trying to apply pressure going for game. So his second effect doesn't really come in handy too much, I would say. 2 Frankenose is just a 2k searcher. 4 Sanji, you actually do get to play this card a decent amount. 2 of the Usopp, this card is searchable by both the Nami and the Zoro, and while it is an uglier card compared to the this Zoro right here, which I would prefer, I just think this Zoro looks cooler. Unfortunately, this Zoro does not. It can only search purple cards, so we're not able to do that, unfortunately. We are playing 4 Usahachi, just another way to rest a blocker, go for game. 4 Zoro, of course. 4 Electrical Luna. This card is absolutely insane in the mirror match. It's really good into decks like black as well, because you can just like stun their board, and if they have like Kuzan or Laboon or Brook, or something like that, like something the 2-cost Uta, all that is fantastic, because you can just rest, you can just stun them, and you can kind of get tempo back that way, which is fantastic. 2 of the Jet Gatlings. We're playing a lot of dead cards in this deck, guys. We're playing 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I'm not gonna lie, we don't brick as much as you might think, because we play this, it draws a card, it cycles. This obviously draws 2 cards, it cycles. This is a trigger that activates, also it cycles, right? The only card that doesn't cycle is like these 12 cards right here. So we're actually not playing as many dead cards as you might think, but when you are going for game, you definitely, if you don't have Dawn up, you definitely have to be aware that this deck does play a lot of bricks. So yeah, 4 Luna. Like I said, 2 Gatling, for the when you're at sea, you fight pirates. Now, this card is not searchable by anything because it's Wano Country, but it can search for Straw Hat Crew. And I was playing Zorojoro, but the issue with the playing Zorojoro, guys, is I was literally like just not finding Sanji Pudding. It's like if you don't find Sanji Pudding on curve, you are going to lose. Like straight up, like this deck is a Sanji Pudding deck. So if you don't find it on curve, you are just straight up fucking cooked, right? So we put in as many searches as possible to find this one card, and sometimes we still don't even find it. It's so infuriating, bro. It's so infuriating. Obviously, for the Giant, one of the best cards ever, should be banned, and then for Going Merry. So Going Merry, guys, what it does is it literally draws a card on play, which is great, and then activate main. If you have less Dawn or equal Dawn than your opponent, then you can give something, one of your Straw Hat characters, +2. In the mirror match, it's really good to give this guy +2 because they can't hit it with Electrical Luna, and then you can go for game, which is really strong. So with that being said, I want to show you guys the video. I played a couple games against Shanks and then one game against Santa Smoker, so I'll show you guys that, and then yeah, be sure to enjoy. Oh, hit the like button. I want to get like at least like 100 to 200 likes on like all videos. So if you guys can hit the like button, hit me with the get me into the algorithm, that'd be fantastic. Thanks. All right, guys, so this is going to be a very unfortunate blowout for this game right here. This is what happens when GP Luffy really does kind of go uncontested. You know, if they have a really hot start, they can really kind of run wild. So I'm going to showcase this game, and I'm going to showcase one other game of it being very close, actually, where things didn't go exactly all according to plan. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I do think Shanks is actually low-key like a slightly difficult matchup. Because they have an answer for our 6K characters, as well as if they play, for example, this guy's playing the stage right here. This stage is actually kind of putting in work. Now, you know, depending on the matchups, right? Depending on the, what you're going to see in these tournaments, this stage could very well be viable. Now, I know you guys see this 5-cost Nico Robin here. As the second to the right card. This is, like I said, guys, I am not 100% sure on any deck list, so I haven't really been, I can't really decide. This video is going to change, this deck list is going to change, so I'm going to show you guys what I've ended up with. But like I said, man, I'm testing so much that it's really hard to come up with a final deck list, so I hope you guys, aren't super upset about that. Now, he's going to go ahead and minus the Zoro down to 3, down to 4, and tries to swing 5 into it, which is an easy 2K counter. He does end up getting rid of my Sanji Pudding, which is very unfortunate because I don't have another one. And yeah, it's actually really tough to actually win with this deck when you don't have Sanji Pudding, because you just Dawn minus so much that you're kind of you're really not playing with a lot of Dawn. It's kind of like the RP Law effect, and I don't think RP Law would have been that great into Shanks because of their free counter every turn. So him actually getting rid of that was pretty tough. Now, I opted to swing into the Hongo here because, I mean, if I just attack 3 with the Nami either way, he was just going to use his leader effect regardless. So I wasn't actually taking any cards from his hand. So I figured, I might as well just get it off the board, and that way I can invest the rest of my Dawn into actually just like attacking his life, which is what I decided to do. And then I'm going to attack for 7k into his leader, and I'm going to play this 6-cost Sanji right here. Now, I know you guys are like, well, if you're looking for ramp, why not just play the Zorojoro? Well, the ramp, like, it's already too late, right? Like, at this point, I just need to start applying a lot of pressure before we can really take over the game in that way. And also, guys, let me know if you guys like this style of video, because I was kind of speeding up the game a little bit. Let me know in the comments below, like I said, but I was speeding up these games a lot, and then I realized a lot of times you guys watch me to hear, you guys watch these videos to hear what I have to say about these games, about this commentary. So I don't want to, deprive you of that and rob you guys from, listening to what I have to say of, like, when it comes to like making decisions and reading board state, because that's literally like what I'm sure why you guys watch me, right? And I'm occasionally I do some funny things on occasion. Now, he attacks 5k into leader into the Zoro right there. I just go ahead and free block while I have the opportunity. He attacks 7k. That Robin didn't really come up, like I said. I actually am not playing it anymore. Also because I know it's a promo too. I'm just going to be very aggressive here, guys. I'm going to attack for a bunch of 6s, and I believe I'm just going to play the Luffy, and then I'm going to attack for 7, and I'm also going to be able to freeze his board with the Electrical Luna. So that's my play right there. I'm just attacking for a bunch of 6s, drain his hand. I don't really need to go for game right here. I'm also not really under any pressure right now. I'm going to Dawn -2, swing an extra 6. I've attacked him for like 5/6s now. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's going to counter with another one. I'm going to attack for 7. No effect, of course. Electro Luna stun his board, and the game is pretty much over. So this one was like obviously he didn't really have like a great start, so this was obviously a blowout. But that's why I said I wanted to show you guys like what this deck can do without really being contested. Like it could really run people over. Let's go to the other games. Now this game right here, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did speed it up a decent bit because this was like a very long game. I think this was like 20 minutes, so I wanted to speed it up a little bit, but this game was so fun. This game was so close, and it came down to the last card, so I wanted to show you guys this because I do think the control version of Shanks is very strong into this deck. I also think, unfortunately, I unfortunately think Lucci and Bonnie are both good into this deck as well, so it can be really scary playing into those decks, and that's why I don't actually think this deck is going to be tier 0, even though I clickbaited you guys saying it was. So yeah, please forgive me on that, but hey, a view's a view, right? We got to get some views around here. So this guy, he decided to not play his 5-cost character. He decides to go Lucky Roo. Lucky Roo is so annoying, man. Like, it's such a good card, and unfortunately, I'm just going to say, you know what? I'm going to attack for 6k into leader, 6k into leader, and force you to give me some cards. And then he's going to use his leader effect right there. And I'm going to go 5 into the Lucky Roo. And I know you guys are like, why go 5 into Lucky Roo right there? And I actually, I said I'll take that, to be honest, right? And the reason I do that, guys, is because going 5 into the Lucky Roo basically means like I couldn't rest him anymore, right? I couldn't rest the Lucky Roo anymore, so he was just going to get a free block next turn anyway. So basically, he just let my attack go for 5k, and I actually explain it right here in the chat right here. Him and I weren't on in VC at the time, but if you guys want to join our Discord, by the way, definitely join. The link's going to be down below. Our community in our Discord is just so fun. It's so chill. Everyone's really cool. Like it's actually like, I don't know. I just love it for sure. But yeah, man, like I said, like I can't rest him again. So you letting the Lucky Roo go for 5 is basically like, it's so good for me because now I can't block like one of my 7s in the future. Unfortunately, he did get rid of my Sanji Pudding, and let me tell you guys, if they can get rid of that first Sanji Pudding, if you don't have another one, like it's really hard for this deck to like actually compete. So I'm gonna go 6, I'm gonna go 7, I'm gonna go a free 5. He takes the 5, which I'm very surprised about. Him taking a 5 right there is like, I told him at the end of this game, I was like, I'm not sure what your hand was like, but you taking a 5 is actually insane. And right now you guys can see like it's kind of slipping away. Like the board is really slipping away. If I would have found the pudding right here, things would have been a little bit different, but I didn't. I didn't, and I need to still put a little bit of pressure on him. So I go Robin, Zoro. Like I said, I'm not playing the Robin anymore, guys, because 1, I don't know if it's actually out in the United States, and 2, I decided to play like the 4/6 vanilla instead. You can play either one, honestly. Like it really doesn't matter. I think the Robin is better going first, and then the Zoro is better going second. Or I'm sorry, the Usopp, the vanilla Usopp. So it's like whatever you prefer, right? Because like what I found is when you go like Sanji Pudding on your 6 Dawn turn, you can Dawn -3, get 3 extra Dawn back with leader plus Sanji Pudding, and you can play another 4 cost. So like I just didn't want to like miss that curve because it's pretty strong. He's gonna attack a bunch into me, and I'm a little scared. He's gonna kill my Robin. So realistically, guys, my Robin really hasn't done shit. So like you're not missing much with this. Now I attack for 6, I attack for another 6. And guys, I was so tempted to play this Luffy right here. To put in a little bit more pressure. But I was like, I need to bait the Gum Gum Giant, or I need to give myself the ability to play Gum Gum Giant. If I draw into the second one, and if I played the Luffy here, then I can only hold up 1, and with me being at 1 life with no blocker, like there's no way I could even possibly win. I was literally bro, I was so close to playing it, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna play the Robin, bait the second giant, it's fine. As soon as I use the first giant, I'm sure he's gonna know. The unfortunate part is I didn't have a lot of 2Ks either. I actually, in fact, had no 2Ks. So that first 8 is gonna be pretty apparent, unfortunately. If I had 2Ks, then I could have like possibly done like 2K 1K here, but because I didn't want to tell him I only had 1Ks, right, I just decided to use the first Gum Gum Giant. And I think his math here is a little off. I decided to discard the Sanji, guys. That's so important because this Luffy actually ends up winning me the game. Sorry to spoil it, but this Luffy ends up winning me the game, and I'm so happy I was able to actually make that right call and decide to keep the Luffy, even though it was not a counter. Like discarding a 1K also like kind of baits him into thinking I have only counter in my hand. So pitching a 1K is like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I do here? Now, what I decide to do is I decided I was going to take this. Oh, I did take this. I'm tripping, bro. I did take this. I'm actually surprised I took that. So I went ahead and Gum Gum Gatling as well as give him the 1K right there. And bro, low key, so he should have used the stage here. He forgot to use stage here. And he goes, he's like, does he have the giant? So I can see where he's coming from, right? I can see where he's coming from. If this is an 11K attack into my leader right here. I'm a 6K leader. So all I need is a Gum Gum Giant and then a 2K, right? To get out of this. And then if he does this, he like automatically loses. Like if he doesn't go through, he automatically loses. Whereas if he plays defensive here, there's a chance he actually does win. And there's like a pretty good chance he wins because he has enough Dawn to play, he has a Divine Departure in hand, and he also has a Lucky Roo as well. So like him thinking he can survive is like pretty, like it's not a bad idea at all. So yeah, he definitely should have done stage here. It's a simulator. Sometimes people forget about stage. I go ahead and give him the 1K right there. Stage obviously would have won him the game for sure. But me, I have a fucking Luffy, a 7-cost Luffy, and I have a Dream. I have nothing else at my disposal. I'm like trying to think of the math. I'm like, I need this Luffy to attack, but how much Dawn can I like realistically commit? I'm not entirely sure. So I think I wanted to start. I was considering doing a 7 with the Zoro Joro, but I was like, nah, I don't think a 7 like is the right call because he's just gonna block with the what's it called either way. The Lucky Roo from what I thought. Also, I think I'm able to swing 7 with my leader instead. I can only do a 6 with one of the characters. So I figured like I'll start with a 6 and see how he responds. I'll go ahead and do the Dawn -2, get an extra Dawn back. He hits me with the kill yourself, of course. He hits me with the kill yourself, and I hit him with the LOL. Classic MW2 banter. Classic MW2 banter. I wish we were back in those days, man. It was just those are better times. Those were simpler times. Yeah, so I hit him with a 7 right here. I don't really have a lot, guys. I have another 7. I have, with my leader, and then I have 2 9s. And I'm like, all right, man, if you got it, you got it, right? And we'll see if he gets it. So I go 7 here. He takes it, and I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, no. I think I go 6 here. I debated going 7, but I was like, I think 2 10s is better than a 7 and 2 9s. I don't know if that's actually good math or not, guys. Like, I actually like wasn't thinking that hard. I was kind of tired when I was making this. So I was like, fuck it. I think that's the better math because I can have like 2. It's basically playing with like an extra Dawn. So that's why I decided to do that. I attack for 10K into his leader. He Divine Departures, goes to 8, goes to 9. Does he have it? No, he doesn't have it. Yeah, that not using stage actually cost him the game right there because I couldn't have protected the Zoro Joro, and he could have had that extra 1K counter or 2K counter in hand. So yeah, guys, let's go to one more video. I believe it's Santa Smoker, and yeah. All right, so we got Santa Smoker here. I like that better than RG Smoker or Christmas Smoker. I think Santa Smoker just sounds better. Yeah, Santa Smoker. I came up with that, by the way, guys. So if anyone ever calls it Santa Smoker, trademark me, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I called it Santa Smoker. This wasn't the rank simulator, by the way, because obviously we didn't have access to it, right? So I was just playing against like random people as well as like one or two of my homies for these videos. So this guy was actually random. This Guts guy right here. He draws a Sanji, the 3-cost Sanji off of the Virgo. Now, like I told you guys before, these kid decks are normally very good into GP Luffy, because we don't really have a great way of dealing with Kid. We don't have any searchable ways of dealing with Kid either, because we're not playing the 1-cost Law, which means we obviously aren't playing Gamma Knife. If we do play Gamma Knife without the 1-cost Law, then obviously there's no way of us actually searching for it. So we kind of have to be like lucky and draw into it. Now, I'm not sure exactly how the meta is going to shape up, because I know Lucci and Bonnie are both really good into GP Luffy, but because Blackbeard exists, Blackbeard's good into both of those. So we'll see how the meta shapes up. I think it could actually be like, you know what's funny is I think this EBO2 meta could potentially be one of the worst metas to exist. And the reason being is because I think it might be one of those auto loss matchups. I think it might be one of those matchups where if you have, if you're playing a certain deck and you see another deck, you automatically lose. But if you're playing the deck that automatically beats yours, right? So, okay, let me break it down like this, right? So if you have green purple Luffy and you play against a Lucci, it's very tough to win that game. But if you're playing Lucci expecting to run into green purple Luffys and you run into Blackbeards, well then you're like, what the fuck, right? Like it's really really hard to win matchups like that, guys. Like those type of metas are the least skillful in my opinion, because you literally have to rely on just like something outside of your control of the game, which is dodging your worst matchup. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but it's like it sucks traveling to events, and luckily there's not like a lot of like in-person events for EBO2, but it sucks going to events and being like, well, you know, if I see 2 Blackbeards and I automatically lose, right? And like I don't make day 2, that feels horrible, right? Like that, like you can be the best player ever and play against like an 80-20 matchup and you just lose. It feels fucking horrible. So he's just gonna go pretty tall into me, you know, both times. He's gonna go 8-9 into leader. I'm gonna take both, and this is what I talked about. You guys remember I did that pressure video on well, yesterday actually. This video is coming out today on Tuesday. I did that pressure video, and I talked a lot about you know, if you're healthy, you know, these big attacks don't actually matter because you're not actually under a lot of pressure. That's exactly what I mean by that. Is this guy just attacked for 8 and 9 and I just took them both, right? So like I wasn't really under a lot of pressure right here. Now the reason I go 5 with the Zoro here is because one, I want to play this Zoro right here, the Zoro drawer in my hand to the left, and then also save a Dawn up for Giant because I am below my life threshold, or I am at my life threshold. But also like I wanted to attack 5 into it just to you know, take some cards out of his hand, but he decides to block with the Rose Nante, which I thought was a little odd. My biggest fear about this guy right now is him playing Kid. So realistically, I also attacked out of sequence right there, guys. I should have attacked for 7 into his Monet before him, you know, and then attack 7 or 6 into the Sanji. But the issue is I gave him an extra card to defend the Monet, but realistically, like the Sanji was like a bigger threat than the Monet, so like I took a little bit of a risk killing the Sanji first, but I wanted to make sure the Sanji got off the board. I didn't want him to like counter and protect it, and now he has like very aggro. He's like very aggro into my life. Now this guy decides to go Hody here, which I was like pretty surprised about. And then honestly, guys, like his hand was so bricked up that like it didn't matter either way. Like he had just had like hella bricks. But yeah, dude, he just went like Hody. He just went like Hody and like just went down to 2 life. Then he swings into my Sanji Pudding, and I believe I counter this because it's like, bro, the worst thing that you could do is just like not have Sanji Pudding. I'm telling you, like green purple Luffy, like that card is literally the only card that matters. It's like that card as well as like the 6 cost Luffy. If you don't have one of those, even if you do have the 6 cost Luffy without the Sanji Pudding, it feels awful. Like this deck honestly feels like it's like bad, right? And that's my one concern about this deck right here. It's like it's a very strong deck, and it has a pretty high skill ceiling too. Like when I'm telling you guys, like the sequencing with this deck is like really tough. Like I usually watch like YouTube videos on my second monitor, like Asmongold or something like that, right? Or like VV Theory. I catch up on his channel. Bro, when I tell you guys, I was having to pause videos to like play this deck to like make sure I was like sequencing right and like making sure I was like getting enough Dawn to play other characters. Like that shit was like actually like really tough. So I decided to play the Sanji Pudding right here, and I want to save up 4 Dawn just in case he has another Hody. You know, because I just don't want to like auto lose. Like I could potentially win this game right here. So like when he took that 7 right there, I was like, I could potentially win that game right here, right? So he swings 7. I swing 7 right here. I think he counters out of this one. No, he doesn't. I could have potentially won this game right here, guys, but I just didn't want him to bait me into going for game when I didn't have to, and then he just wins with a Hody Jones after he counters out of my last attack. So I was like, all right, whatever, bro. I'm like looking at his counter. I'm like, should I go for the 9? But I was like, no, there's not really a point. So I'm just gonna, you know, play a little safe and save 2 Dawn up, and then I automatically win on the following turn. So that's what happens, and the game's over. All right, guys, so in conclusion, I do think this deck is very good, but I don't think that it's going to be tier 0 because of its glaring issues, not being able to deal with any type of Kid Wall deck or consistent removal. Man, I almost lost to a Garp earlier, man. A fucking Garp. And yeah, dude, I think any deck that has consistent removal, or even a deck like Carrot, for example, that has, you know, just freezes all your shit, it's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be an issue. So we'll come out with a tier list soon for EBO2. But yeah, man, this deck has some very encouraging signs, but it has some very not encouraging signs. So be sure to look out for that. But yeah, guys, be sure to like the video, like I said, and I appreciate you guys. Much love.